Does anybody remember Sliders, or is it just me? Probably just me, so let me explain what Sliders was. It was a TV show in the 90s that starred this guy, Jerry O'Connell, as Quinn Mallory, super scientist. He ends up creating a portal gun that will take people through to different dimensions, which are similar to, but slightly different than our current Earth. Think about the new Doctor Strange movie, but instead of with magic, it's with science. Every week, the team goes to a different dimension that might be different than ours in a singular way. The first episode looks at what it might be like if the Russians won the Cold War, or there's another episode where most of the males have died off and the ones that remain are used for repopulation of the Earth. I would like to talk about a different episode though. Season 1, Episode 5, Fever. In this episode, the group teleports to a world plagued by an unknown disease. People are basically just dying out in the street. This plot is crazy and definitely wouldn't happen in real life. Quinn is joined by his friend Wade, singer Rembrandt, and his professor Arturo, who is played by Gimli, so I think that's really cool. The cast members do end up changing eventually, but basically don't watch past the second season because it gets really bad. They start out the episode where they slide into a world where Wade is almost hit by a car. Thankfully, she is saved by a nice orange man in a trench coat. To thank him, Wade kisses him on the cheek. He says,
"I was trying to help you."
Real talk though. I was actually planning on doing this video back in 2020, but then I thought, oh man, it's got too late. This video's not going to be relevant. The pandemic's going to end. Now we have monkeypox. You know, Japan just started opening up for tourism. They poked their head out, saw their shadow, and I won't be able to go to Japan for another 2 years. Where was I? Oh right, Sliders. They think that is strange, but they don't think much of it. So because of the last Earth they were on, they got a lot of money, so they decided to get some food. When they get to the restaurant, they have to walk through a weird sanitation machine. Everything is white, clean, and the food is prepackaged nonsense. It is so bad that Rembrandt can't eat it and goes to the bathroom to throw up. After he is done, he notices that Quinn is wanted in this world for being patient zero. This is another trope that happens in most episodes of Sliders. See, there's always another Quinn. Sometimes there's another Rembrandt, and sometimes there's another Arturo, which is a big sticking point for a lot of fans. However, 90% of the time, it's another Quinn, and he has a major impact on the world. He's always played by Jerry O'Connell, so it's not even like Spider-Man where there's different characters that play him. Except for the one episode where there's a female Quinn and they almost fuck. Moving on. The CHC, who are kind of like our world's CDC, ends up coming and going after somebody who is coughing, which gives the Sliders the opportunity to leave quickly. I am kind of spoiling things, but in this world, Quinn was infected by the government and then released into the population to see what's going to happen. Back to the story. Arturo and Wade get to the hotel room and hey, Will Sasso.
Wonderful.
There are a lot of recurring characters in the first 2 seasons. After the second season, they ended up moving locations, and so a lot of the recurring characters ended up getting taken from the show. I was pretty sad because I really like seeing Will Sasso pop up from time to time, and after the second season, he just never shows up again. While Rembrandt and Wade are getting a hotel room, Quinn and Arturo decide to go to the pharmacy and get some aspirin. In this pharmacy, they don't have aspirin or anything, they just have a bunch of herbs that can help, like witch hazel for hemorrhoids and stuff like that. Quinn ends up getting recognized, the police show up, and they have to run away, but Quinn ends up getting caught. Shifting back to the hotel room, Wade is getting worse. She's turning yellow, but not her eyes. Usually when you get jaundice, your eyes turn yellow as well. That tells me it's probably not something wrong with the liver, and it is actually something affecting other organs. It's either that or the people making the episode didn't really think about the medical stuff, which we will discuss later. Back to Quinn. He is screaming while getting a warm shower? I don't know, that seems kind of pleasant. Also, he got to keep his underwear on, so I guess it's a win-win for everyone. The doctors are testing him for the Q, which is the disease that is spreading across the world. They don't find any in his system because he isn't infected. He tries to explain to them that he's from another dimension, but the doctors, for some reason, do not believe him or do not understand. There is a funny part where the female doctor is testing him, and she doesn't detect the disease twice, so the male doctor does this.
Damn it, you're doing something wrong.
Even in a parallel universe, guys still got a mansplain. Oh, look at this QVC show. They're selling all sorts of disinfectant stuff, including like 36 bars of soap, which I call bullshit. If there's not 2 years worth of toilet paper on sale, I don't trust this show at all. While watching QVC, Wade ends up running away, and I think she's joining a cult. I guess the disease also gives the infected people an innate ability to find where this world's Quinn is. But that's definitely never explained. Arturo, Rembrandt, and Wade are there, and this world's Quinn basically tells them that they're at a hospice. They've set up a place where the infected can basically just wait and die. It also appears that Arturo ended up getting infected as well, but it hasn't progressed as far as it has with Wade. That's very important because Arturo found out that antibiotics don't exist in this world.
Why is it resistant to antibiotics?
Antibiotics?
He starts dumping out the trash to find mold. Now that is how penicillin is made, so Arturo wants to try to cure the infection by creating antibiotics. There are a couple plot holes with this. 1. Arturo doesn't know if this is a bacterial infection or a virus. If it's a virus, the antibiotics aren't going to work. And number 2, they stated that they only have about 2 days on this world, and right now they only have about 20 hours remaining. I looked it up. I did actual research for this video, and it takes about a week to make penicillin if all the right conditions are met. Apparently cantaloupe is good. That's what the original penicillin was made with. These problems are super easy to write into the script as well. Just have Rembrandt say, "Oh man, according to this pamphlet I got, it's just some weird bacteria that's causing this." And secondly, have one of them look at the timer saying, "It looks like we have a week remaining before we jump," or something like that, instead of starting with just 2 days on this planet. So of course, Arturo makes the antibiotics in about half an hour and then takes it himself. He does correctly state that it does have 3 different outcomes.
Mr. Mallory, I am touched by your belief in my abilities. However, I should point out that there are 3 possible outcomes to my drinking this. 1, it may do nothing. 2, it may cure. 3, it may kill.
Meanwhile, Rembrandt goes to save Quinn. Our Quinn, not the infected Quinn. There is a bit of a shootout. The female doctor ends up dying, and Quinn makes it back just in time to jump out. They end up giving Wade the antibiotics, and she survives to see another day. I wanted to talk about this episode because of the pandemic that we are still currently in. I do love Sliders. Even seasons 3 to 5 have some good episodes, but it kind of drops off after season 2. I originally did think that the pandemic would end after about 6 months or a year, and it's been about 2 years so far, and it's funny how some things are obviously way more intense than they are in real life in this pandemic episode, but we do see some of the lockdowns and the sanitization process in the episode that we would see in real life. The QVC show within the episode is pretty funny because it shows a gadget that you put your items into and then they get sanitized. It reminded me of the phone sanitizers that instantly became popular after the pandemic started. Oh, and no one is wearing a mask, which I guess is pretty reminiscent of the real world at this point. Even though we are still in a pandemic, I know this episode was pretty short. That episode is about an hour long, 45 minutes, something like that. But I haven't posted on YouTube in a while, and I wanted to make this for a couple of years now. And I would like to go back to making some more YouTube videos if I have the time to do it. I do stream on Twitch Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific Time to 9 p.m. Pacific Time. So if you're interested, go to twitch.tv/Reetin, and you can find me there. I do want to talk about Sliders some more. There are some episodes that I think are really cool. There are some episodes that I think are really bad, like the one where Quinn almost fucked himself. The female version of himself, so it's not gay, right? Anyway, do all the YouTube things. Give me the thumbs up, subscribe, press the bell at the top, and definitely comment below. Thank you and see you next time.